welcome back to our tutorial on the France Avenue tee. So today we're going to talk about doing your shoulder seam as a 3-needle bind off. So if you look at your assembly, at this point you have knit your front and your back, you've woven in ends, and you're going to now join the front to back shoulders using a 3-needle bind off. So we're talking about this right here, okay? So to show you how to do a 3-needle bind off, I, of course, made a tiny version so it gives you an idea of what you're doing. Now, when you do a 3-needle bind off, you're going to make sure that your right sides are facing each other. So if you've had experience with sewing garments, you know that when you typically put a garment through a sewing machine, it's right sides together. This is the same. So I already have my needles worked through, and we are going to do a 3-needle bind off to join the shoulder seams. All right, get my yarn in place. There we go. Tangled up and everything, but so you can see we have these facing parallel to each other, right sides facing, as I said, and we're just going to bind off the stitches that are for the shoulder. So for this, you will need a 3rd needle, hence the name 3rd needle bind off. And you get them lined up. And you can see I have a plethora of needles to work with. You can also use a DPN to be your 3rd needle. It's totally fine. What you're going to do is you're going to take and go through the first stitch and the first stitch on the 2nd needle, and you bring your yarn around and you knit them together like you're knitting 2 together. You take them off the needles. You then go in for your 2nd stitch. Same thing, you're going to pick up 1 stitch from each needle and knit them together. And see, now you have 2 stitches on your right hand needle. You're just gonna lift the first one over the 2nd and drop it off. So again, 1st needle, 2nd needle, come around, knit them together, and then just drop the previous stitch over the new stitch. And you're going to continue to do this, and I will even show you how you end up. So 1st and 2nd. And the reason I like doing this, it gives a very nice shoulder seam that doesn't stretch out, and that looks really neat and tidy. And sometimes with cotton, because it can grow a little bit, I think a nice firm shoulder seam is nice so that your garment keeps its shape and continues to look lovely for as long as you have it. So we're just going to keep going through here until we get to the neckline, and we'll have 1 full shoulder done. But you can see it's very satisfying and very soothing. And of course, it may feel awkward in your hands at first, and that's totally fine because it might be something you're not used to doing. But it's a fun little skill to have in your back pocket for when you're putting something together. A few more stitches to go. But you can already see, look how neat and tidy that is. It's like a beautiful finished seam. So it also looks very neat and professional, and you'll be like, oh my gosh. And even though no one else sees the inside of your garment, you know that it is put together beautifully. Or if you want to show your knitting friends how amazing your seam is, go ahead. because it does look that good. Also, me knitting flat in front of you is a little bit different. Usually I'm holding it up to my face. So, all right, we are down to 1 stitch. That's our last stitch. Wrap it around. Yep. And then jump that last stitch over. And then give yourself just, I always say this is a baby sweater, tiny sweater, but usually about 6 inches, just to make sure you've got enough to weave in. And boom, your seam is together. Look at that. And look how neat and tidy it is on the right side as well. So that is the 3 needle bind off. I'm going to go do the other sleeve on my mini sweater. And then the next time I see you, I'm going to show you how to pick up stitches on your sweater. So we're going to be picking up this cuff edge off of the sleeve we put together.